appears this is about to turn federal. Here it says on Front Office Sports, this story is written by Ben Horney, okay? Senator slams the WNBA, thumb on the scale in Suns relocation. The Democratic senator wants a federal investigation into the Suns sale process. Okay, here it says Connecticut officials are breathing fire over the WNBA son being sold and relocated to Houston to become the Comets. And Senator Richard Blumenthal is calling for a federal
Senator Richard Blumenthal has made a major move by demanding a federal investigation into the WNBA, focusing on how the Connecticut Sun sale was handled. Once you start looking at the details behind the scenes, it becomes clearer why he's so frustrated. According to Connecticut officials, the league didn't just oversee the process. They may have gone further by blocking several offers to push a specific outcome, which raises serious concerns about fairness in a free market. At the same time, this situation has added more pressure on Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, who has already faced criticism. Bringing up names like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bucher's only intensified the backlash. On top of that, the Fisa Collier situation also drew attention, especially with questions around a potential conflict of interest. Overall, it hasn't been a good offseason for Engelbert. Just when it seemed like things were settling down after finalizing the CBA, another controversy has emerged, making it feel like the league can't catch a break.
Cathy Engelbert, and then she threw in Caitlin Clark's name and Angel Reese and Paige Becker's to try to make it even worse. I don't know if things didn't turn out so great for Nafisa Collier, by the way, either, as her conflict of interest started to come into question more. But it was a bad look for Cathy this offseason, a super bad look. You finally come to grips and you get the CBA done, and now this is happening. It's like she can't get out of her own way. This is crazy, man.
Let's take a closer look at what actually happened, because the sequence of events really matters here. The Mohegan Tribe, owners of Connecticut Sun, reportedly received 3 different offers. The highest was $350 million to relocate the team to Boston. Another offer worth $325 million came from former Milwaukee Bucks corner Mark Lasseri, aiming to move the team from Uncasville to Hartford while keeping it in Connecticut. The third bid, valued at $300 million, was from Houston Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta, who planned to move the team to Houston and revive the Comets. Despite having higher offers available, the WNBA chose to approve the lowest one, which raises serious questions.
That would have kept the team in Connecticut. Former Bucks co-owner Mark Lasseri reportedly made a $325 million offer. So pardon me, it was $325 million offer as a part of a proposal that would have moved the team from Uncasville to Hartford. And that was, I do believe it was 350 for Boston, 325 to keep it in Connecticut to move it to Hartford. And they weren't allowed to do it. Here it says what's really frustrating is that the team is moving without any apparent caring about the fans. Blumenthal tells Front Office Sports, I'm really angry about it because clearly the WNBA put their thumb on the scale and exerted pressure. In fact, they virtually.
This is where Senator Blumenthal's anger really starts to make sense. It's not just about the team leaving. His concern is much deeper. The Mohegan Tribe claims they were put under pressure, almost forced, to accept Tillman Fertitta's offer despite having better options available. Those higher bids could have either kept the team in Connecticut or moved it to a larger market like Boston. However, Blumenthal alleges that the WNBA influenced the process heavily, essentially blocking any deal that didn't align with their preferred outcome. That's a serious claim, as it points toward possible violations of antitrust laws under the Sherman Act, which has existed since 1890, to prevent exactly this kind of anti-competitive behavior.
This at all. They feel like they have been bullied and forced to sell to a specific person when they feel they had other options, and they were not allowed to explore those options freely, and they feel like they were bullied into this. Okay, here it says, let me go. The senator posted on social media that the Department of Justice should launch an investigation and stop anti-competitive interference. There seems to be a lot of evidence that they engaged in anti-competitive, monopolistic conduct that could violate the Sherman Act. He says, referring to a law in place since...
Blumenthal isn't playing around either. He posted on social media that the Department of Justice should launch an investigation and stop such anti-competitive interference. As Connecticut's former Attorney General for 20 years, he knows exactly what he's looking at. He told Front Office Sports, "There seems to be a lot of evidence that the WNBA engaged in anti-competitive monopolistic conduct that could violate federal law. But here's the complication." Brian Anderson, who co-leads the sports practice at law firm Shepherd, points out that Connecticut has limited ability to block a relocation outright. The Sun are a privately owned WNBA team operating under league rules, and if the league approves a sale and move, that's the key decision. The state doesn't have veto power.
That will require pro team owners to give local communities a chance to buy the teams before relocating. All right. It says limited ability to block relocation outright. Brian Anderson, who co-leads the sports practice at law firm Shepherd, says Blumenthal might not have much authority to back up his bluster. OK, Connecticut has limited ability to block a relocation outright. Anderson tells Front Office Sports. The Sun are a privately owned WNBA team operating under league rules. And if the league approves a sale and move, that's the key decision. Blumenthal, previously Connecticut's attorney general for 20 years.
So what legal avenues are actually available to Connecticut? Blumenthal suggested that current Attorney General William Tong could potentially file a lawsuit to try to keep the team in the state. There is some precedent for this. In 2018, the city of Oakland, California, sued the Raiders, the NFL, and the league's other teams, claiming they violated antitrust laws by allowing the Raiders to move to Las Vegas in 2020 without negotiating in good faith. Oakland ultimately lost that case, and the U.S. Supreme Court declined to review it. While a similar challenge in Connecticut isn't guaranteed to succeed, pursuing damages could be a more practical and realistic option.